What's up YouTube? This is Foxtail Digital coming to you again with Black Girl Stocks, and this is another segment of our top 3 option plays this week, where we're just going to go over a few different trades, stock fundamentals, and different strategies that you can do to make it through, okay? If this is your first time watching this video, please make sure that you click that thumbs up button. It really helps the channel. Also subscribe and click that notification bell so that you get notified anytime I upload a new video for you guys. But first, just a recap on last week's trades, well, wins. Okay, winners, because that's what they were. Okay, so the first stock that we were looking at was FB Meta, and we were bearish on it. We were starting around $184. Now you'll see here, we were pretty profitable with just ordinary put. So we were actually looking at the $150 put that expires on May the 6th. I think it was around $2.50. And so you'll see that our actual put contract gained most of its value to around $5.80 on the premium. So that's a pretty good increase. Towards the end of the day on Wednesday, skyrocketed from 173 all the way up to 207. But these are the things that happen with earnings plays, which is why a lot of times it helps to do a spread. I actually had a spread open on Facebook that did pretty well. So we had a call credit spread. Facebook did end up closing below $205. That's just one of the things that you can do with earnings plays, okay? The next stock that we were looking at was AMD. So when we were looking at it, it was trading around $87.73. Now this was bearish also. We actually reached $82 on that Monday. So that was a pretty good move for our option contracts that we were looking into. Now, of course, I always say take quick profit in this volatile market, because as you'll see, the market rebounded pretty quickly towards the rest of the week, but overall it's been pretty bearish. Okay, and we were looking at the May 20th $75 puts. When we were looking at it, the premium was around $2.03. And so you'll see we reached for a good bit of profit, moved all the way up to $3 on Wednesday. And right now we're still in profit, even though it has fallen a little bit. You'll see, even looking at the stock chart, that AMD is kind of moving back up. And so you can kind of see that in our chart now. So if you're still in that position, go ahead and probably take profits with AMD on the puts. All right, and the last stock that we were looking at was Affirm, AFRM. This was another bearish position, and we were starting in around $31.27. So you'll see we had some pretty good movement. We moved down to $28.22 on Wednesday. Affirm, we were looking at the March 20th $29 puts. When we were starting at, the premium was around $3.90. This one hasn't moved much. It's moved up to about $4.70. Okay, so let's get into this week's plays. So the first stock, well, ETF is SPY, and the S&P right now is trading around $412. So last week, the stock market had a pretty tough week. Well, okay, it wasn't tough for all of us, you know, because we're trading options and we ended up doing puts, but some of the biggest tech stocks took a tumble. Amazon, Netflix, Tesla, it's been trading in between $800 and $1,000 for the past few days. And the S&P 500 dropped close to 9%, the worst drop in a single month since the beginning of the pandemic peak. There's a lot of uncertainty around this time in the stock market, with interest rate expectations from the Federal Reserve, geopolitical turmoil, more COVID outbreaks in China, you know, a slower economy. All of these things are coming at one time. A lot of the data that came out this week from the corporate earnings report profits, they show a lot of signs of decelerating economic growth. And then at the same time, a lot of companies are experiencing higher labor costs and supply chain issues. So we're going through a tough time right now. Overall, I'm going to be bearish on SPY, the S&P 500, going into the remainder of the week. Yellow line here represents our 200-day moving average. White line represents the 50. So you'll see here, we just had a death cross. So that's when our 50-day moving average crosses below our 200. Even just looking at the MACD indicator, it looks like it's gearing up for more bearish movement. Our lines here are trading below our center line. All right, so the first thing I'll do with SPY is just a single regular put. I'll have a May 9th expiration, and I'll pick the $400 strike price. So it's slightly out of the money, decent delta. The theta is a little bit high, so this might be a pretty short-term hold. And then also, if I was going to do a spread, I'm still going to be bearish, but okay, we're going to sell the 421 and buy the 422 for SPY. So you'll see here we have a very, very nice bid and ask spread. So we're basically going to get around somewhere around $30 for this. As far as our risk, maximum loss $66, maximum profit $30. I I'll chance it. The next stock is V for Visa, and right now Visa is trading around $213.13. Now, this is a very special company near and dear to my soul. Even with all of the economic challenges that we talked about earlier, there's one guaranteed thing. The world is gonna move on. It's gonna keep going, okay? So there's a higher trend moving towards digital transitions and away from cash. Not all companies are seeing inflation as a negative. Businesses like Mastercard and Visa, they stand to profit in the long term from situations like this. So if food, gas, labor, and energy are going up in price, they're becoming more expensive. Who do you think benefits from that? So as prices are going up, companies that take percentages of each transaction are essentially taking their share of a bigger pie. Visa CEO Al Kelly said that the company saw no noticeable impact from higher inflation. And in fact, in a lot of ways, it's been positive. Long term for companies like Visa, well, yeah, it's gotten a little choppy since about August of last year. But overall, I mean, we've been in a pretty steady uptrend. And even just with the slowdown right now, the only thing this tells me, we're ready to continue the grow and go. I'm definitely going to be bullish on Visa right now. If I was going to get into a bullish position on SPY, just looking at where we are on the 5-minute chart, I'm gonna have my entry around $214. And basically just seeing it move above 214, that would be a first signal for me. That would be it moving above. So if it moves above this 50-period moving average, this is a great bullish indicator. That's something that we're gonna look into for an entry signal. For the Visa calls, I'm gonna move out a little bit to the May 20th expiration. And I'm just gonna do something simple. I'm gonna do the 230 calls, something cute. 2,000 volume, 4,000 open interest on Friday. So this is cute. Premium is okay, 1.28. Ooh, our bid and our ask spread is a little bit high, 20 cents difference, but you know, it's just kind of something that we can do for Visa. And lastly is, dun, 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 again, this week is AMD. That's Advanced Micro Devices, and right now trading at $85.52. And this is going to be an earnings play. They have their earnings report scheduled for May the 3rd of next week. All right, so they're expected to have pretty good results. We've been in a strong downtrend since late last year, which is something that we've seen with a lot of stocks in the semiconductor sector. But AMD is still expected to have a year-over-year growth of 45%. They've increased 4% in this quarter alone. Now, a lot of that growth came from the popularity of their EPYS processors, and those are used by Amazon, Google, IBM, and a lot of other large companies. So that's a really good moving piece for AMD right now. I'm still going to do a credit spread during earnings. You see, we were slightly moving up towards last week. So this was the stock that we were looking at. We had a huge drop. If I was going to get into a bearish position on AMD, I'm gonna have my entry around $85.50. And the reason why is even better will probably be this $84.50, but this is just a low that we were at last week on Friday. So seeing it fall below $85.50 and even better $84.50 would be a good indication that we are continuing in that downtrend. It's not trying to do a little slow move back upwards. So we're going to do a call credit spread, and that's not to say that it's not going to move up after earnings. It's just anticipating it staying within its market maker move. So the market maker move for AMD is about $8. So we're going to pick a close expiration, May the 6th. I'm going to sell the 94 and I'm going to buy the 95. Make sure we're in sell. So we're going to sell the 94, buy the 95. Probably not going to get more than $15 to $20 for this, but the plus is it's something very short term and you can actually increase your contract amount. So if you're only getting $20 and you wanted to get 100, buy more contracts. The likelihood of AMD crossing above $94, that's going to be it for this week's top 3, but make sure that you guys check out these videos that we have on a Q&A that we did on trading stocks and options. Okay, so there's a part 1 and there's a part 2, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. All right.